Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts, and I'm excited to introduce you to a new podcast series in partnership with Lord Fairfax Community College. Having provided higher education and career training for the past half-century, LFCC is tightly interwoven into the fabric of the Northern Shenandoah Valley and Piedmont regions. Join me every week for conversations with current and former students to hear their funny and inspiring stories as we learn about their journey to higher education, the role that LFCC has played, where they are now, and where they plan to go. We'll also talk to current and former professors about their experiences and best memories of LFCC over the past 50 years. Get every single episode as they're released on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for LFCC Stories. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Tuesday as you are listening to the show today. It is Tourism Tuesday and it is Shenandoah County's turn at the mic. I am on the Zoom screen pre-recording the conversation today with Carrie Hahn from Shenandoah County Tourism. And Carrie, you look all warm and wrapped up in your fuzzy scarf. How are you holding up these days?
Doing all right. The house is cold. I live in an old house and it's drafty. And so, you're trying to get through to the spring without having to fill the tank again. You know what I mean? This is a big drafty room. So I put my scarf on and it's quite comfortable. There's a teenager who grumbles about it a little bit, but we do all right.
I know scarves are so functional. Today I actually am dressed, just for those of you on the screen that can see, but typically I have a scarf on because it hides the fact that I'm wearing my pajamas and it looks something a little more simple. So they are so functional for so many different things.
They are. And this is my favorite scarf. It's sort of a wool weave.
Well, I have to tell you that you may have outdone yourself with our topic for today, because as people are listening to the show, it is the second day of March and it is Women's History Month. And you came up with the brilliant idea of showcasing some of the women-owned businesses up and down Shenandoah County. So I got to pat you on the back because it's a great idea.
I wish I could take credit for it, like you're giving me right now. But in our office, Brenda Black and Jenna French, myself, mostly Brenda. She's she's got a lot of brains behind our public relations and marketing, and she's compiled a list of all of the women-owned businesses in our entire county. And then there is even more when you count the non sort of tourism related businesses. You have hairdressers and various other places like that aren't even included in this list, but actually just came back from Hairspray Salon, which is a woman-owned business, and they just did a really great job on my hair. But all of that to say that we get so excited. One of our most popular blogs that is read frequently on our website is a girls' weekend away or a girls' night out. We have so many things that can be done in this county, places to go, and we'll be talking about them with our guests today.
So usually we try to geographically start when you're bringing in guests from all of the different towns across Shenandoah County. We try to pick a spot and work our way in one direction or the other. So today I want to start a new market, because on the Zoom screen with us is Cristi Coryell. She is the owner of the Buttercup. And Cristi, I got to tell you, I love your Facebook Lives. They are fantastic. Tell me about the Buttercup.
Oh, well, thank you. It's such a pleasure to be with you this morning. The Buttercup is this beautiful dream of mine that has finally come to fruition, and I am so ecstatic to get to share it with everybody. And it is a fashion boutique that specializes in size inclusiveness. We have women's fashion sizes small to 3XL, and hopefully it brings a lot of cheer and gratefulness to my heart, and I hope that it does the same for our guests who walk through the front door.
Where are you located in New Market?
We are smack dab in the middle of the downtown on Congress Street. I like to tell people, if you've ever eaten at Jalisco's, we are about 3 buildings south. We are sandwiched between 2 brick buildings. We're a little white building with a black front door.
And have you always had an interest in fashion? Was this just kind of a hobby of yours? I mean, how do you go into opening something like a boutique that you've done?
Well, it's been a journey for sure. In my life, I've always had kind of a passion for, for my rhyming fashion, and have enjoyed finding things that accent parts of my body that make me feel great. And I've tried to do that for friends and family in my life's journey, but I've done a lot of things. I've worn many hats. I was an elementary and junior high teacher for 10 years and have worked in the wine industry and in hard cider here in Virginia. And so the common thread for me is people. And I love to get to work with people every day and to learn their stories and to share just in the humanity of it all. So even though owning a little shop has always been on the back of my mind, to have it really come into reality has been a huge blessing. And I don't know that I would have been able to have that dream come true if it weren't for this community and the leadership of the town of Newmarket, and just in the other business owners here in Newmarket, but also in the county as a whole. It's just, the support has been overwhelming. The local community has been so welcoming, and I think have really enjoyed having the Buttercup in their community, which is just overwhelmingly amazing.
Well, and I got to tell you, it's also a special kind of brave to open a shop in the middle of a pandemic, because you opened in the middle of this. You haven't been open for years and years and years, right?
No. We opened on Small Business Saturday, November the 28th. And if I'm honest, the factor that we're in a pandemic it never really crossed my mind. I was gifted a huge amount of courage from somewhere in my heart, and I just was like, I know this is going to be great. I know that it's going to succeed, and I'm just super grateful for that I have not had that fear and just have been able to step out in faith, and that the community hasn't proved me wrong. This is something that they love, that's something that's benefiting them, that's bringing them joy, and that is just all you could ask for in your career or your business. And so, yeah, it's been pretty amazing, mind-blowingly amazing, to be honest.
Well, I have to tell you, one of the Facebook posts that you made recently is for a line of T-shirts that you were getting in, and people can pre-order them. I think there's only a couple of days left. And when the one came up in my news feed that said, "I'm sorry, did my face just say what I was thinking?" I thought, she gets me. She really, really gets me.
Yeah, no, that is me to a T. I mean, I kind of fluctuate with this personality of, like, very proper and teacher-esque, but there's very much this sassy side of me that comes out. And I'm so glad that that's a way that I can share that part of my personality, because I really want to wear that shirt to work every day.
I can't wait until I go back out in public to work so I could wear that T-shirt.
I understand. I totally get that.
I've joked that that's probably one of the few upsides to always wearing a mask, is that at least it covers half of my facial expressions, and my glasses sometimes will cover the other part. So I can get away with having more conversations in person with people without them knowing how ridiculous what they're saying really is.
Absolutely. It's a conscious thought for me. Am I rolling my eyes? What are my eyebrows doing? Yeah. Am I keeping my face neutral? Because it definitely is a thing.
I used to be really involved with the Downtown Front Royal organization years ago when they were applying for the Main Street program, and it required me to go to a lot of Front Royal Town Council meetings. And I was friends with the mayor, who was the mayor at the time, and he had assigned me a special seat in council because they videotape those meetings. So he would assign me a special seat that was out of the camera range, because the first time I went and sat up front, apparently on the watch back, you could see me reacting to all the other topics that they were talking about that day. So after that, I had to kind of sit in the back out of camera range. So I totally feel your pain.
I do have to say, I love friends who don't hide their emotions too easily, though, because then that takes some of the guesswork out, and there's some fun interactions that happen because of that.
So you have the shop on Congress Street in Newmarket, but I know our other guest on the screen is Meredith Norris. She has Flour and Water on Main Street in Woodstock. You guys, we were talking a little bit before we started recording about a girls' night out that you guys are going to have. So you have the ability to do a pop-up shop somewhere if another business is listening and think they want to bring you to their business and partner on an event.
Yes, that's correct. I actually live in Woodstock. My home is in Woodstock, and I was so excited to learn that Flour and Water was going to be opening a brick and mortar shop in town. And when Meredith and I would see each other when I would go in as a customer, and we got to know one another, she asked if we would be interested in considering doing a pop-up, and I was like, absolutely. I think that would be such a fun collaboration between our two businesses, and we are very excited that we finally get to share the secret that we're having a pop-up on March the 19th from 6 to 8 o'clock at Flour and Water in Woodstock.
Well, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Meredith Norris is going to join us. She's already been listening in on the Zoom screen with us. Meredith, can you tell us a little bit about Flour and Water and give us some more details for Girls Night Out in the next segment?
Absolutely. I'm happy to.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation for Tourism Tuesday Shenandoah County edition. Carrie Hahn is on the Zoom screen pre-recording with us today. Along with her is Cristi Coryell. She is the owner of the Buttercup in Newmarket. And we're going to talk with Meredith Norris, the owner of Flour and Water, when we come back in just a couple of minutes.
Got a financial decision to make or a goal to reach, but you don't know where to start? You've come to the right place. Introducing Quick Money Chats with the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program. Visit tinyurl.com/quickmoneychat to schedule a virtual chat with a staff member or trained volunteer. We won't tell you what to do, but we will give you the tools you need to choose wisely. And because Virginia Cooperative Extension is part of Virginia Tech and Virginia State, your land-grant universities, you can be sure that our information is credible and trustworthy. And you'll know that we aren't trying to sell you something. Maybe you want to improve your credit score, or reduce your banking overdraft fees, or even figure out if you can afford to buy that car. Sorting through tons of information on the internet can be overwhelming, and sometimes it can be hard to know who to trust. Schedule a Quick Money Chat and get the information you need to take action. Go to tinyurl.com/quickmoneychat and get financial education personalized for you.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Tuesday. As you are listening to the show today, it is Tourism Tuesday, Shenandoah County edition. So we have pre-recorded our conversation on the Zoom screen with Carrie Hahn from Shenandoah County Tourism. In the first segment, we talked a bit with Cristi Coryell. She is the owner of the Buttercup Boutique in Newmarket. She is on Congress Street. And when we went to break, we were talking about the Girls Night Out event. It's a joint event that Cristi is hosting as a pop-up event for her at Flour and Water, which is owned by Meredith Norris in Woodstock. And Meredith, I think this is fantastic. During the break, we were talking a little bit about all of your different business ventures, but all of the partnerships that you have with other local businesses, most of them also women-owned businesses.
Yes. So Flour and Water is a second partnership between my sister and I, as well as a former student of my sister. My sister teaches culinary arts here in the county, and has been a chef and a baker here for 20 plus years. But our first venture was the Pantry at 117, which is literally across the street where we are in Woodstock, inside Woodstock Cafe, another woman-owned business by Nikki Grant. But we started that venture 3 years ago as a way to see, can we work together as sisters, which has turned out really well. And we've had a great relationship there and great success there. But about 18 months ago, we had a brainchild on a trip to Ireland that we wanted to start a bakery. We had a relationship with Jacoby Dingus, who is from Newmarket, and we wanted to start a bakery. So we started as a pop-up shop inside the Pantry, our first business, to test the theory of, does Shenandoah County need a bakery? The overwhelming response was yes.
Yes, they do.
We were selling out every weekend. And at the beginning of 2020, decided we were going to take the step. We were going to try to find a brick and mortar. Well, then 2020 did not turn out the way we thought it was going to turn out. So we were getting ready to pull the trigger on a brick and mortar in March, and then the pandemic happened. Blessing in disguise, helped us kind of pump the brakes and pause. And we got really lucky in August and were able to purchase a building on Main Street in Woodstock. It's at 124 South Main Street. You can't miss it. It's the bright teal building on Main Street, right next to the courthouse. And we opened our doors to the public the weekend after Cristi opened her business. So we opened the first week of December. So we have our 3-month anniversary of Flour and Water this week. So.
And I love the fact that you have reached out to other businesses to kind of give them the same opportunity that you were lucky enough to have through the Pantry at 117, which, by the way, I had no idea was you. When you just said that a second ago, I'm like, oh my God, I followed them on Facebook too and keep thinking, I got to get over there. So this is like a win-win for me all the way around.
Awesome. Come see us. For
so
sure.
The girls' night out, you're partnering with Cristi to do her pop-up shop at your place. What are the details for that again? Because I know you guys just released that information.
Yes, so we just posted it this morning. This has been our little kept secret for about a month. Cristi and her family have been customers since the beginning. We love them. They're great. I'm a big fan of the Buttercup. After I came to visit her. And so we are going to have a girls' night out. It's Friday, March 19th from 6 to 8 at Flour and Water. And Cristi's going to have all her goodies and actually things that are exclusive to that pop-up that you can't get in the Buttercup normally. And then we're going to be offering, treats and drinks, which, by the way, segue to Carrie. We use Carrie Hahn pottery mugs in our bakery. We love her. So you can grab a coffee, grab, a cookie or a cupcake and shop. But the other exciting thing for that night is one other woman in business that Cristi and I both work with in our shops is Bold Buffalo Candle Company, which is owned by another woman, Rebecca. And Flour and Water will be releasing 2 signature scents with her that night. And I'm not going to give them away right now. You'll have to come to the event to smell them, but they're amazing. Rebecca does a great job, and we're happy to partner with her as well.
Carrie, you were checking so many of the boxes here and really don't even know it. I love Bold Buffalo Candles. They are at Richard's Fruit Market, which is another one of my clients. So I'm lucky enough that I know Eddie well enough that when one of them burns out, I can call him and he'll meet me at the market to restock my candle supply.
Awesome.
And of course, people can't see us because we're on the radio, but on the screen behind me are several Carrie Hahn pottery mugs.
I see one. Mm-hmm.
So, I think this is fantastic. Meredith, did you have any preconceived notion when you started Flour and Water or even the Pantry at 117 that it was going to be this women's entrepreneurial explosion?
No, is the answer to that. I've only been an entrepreneur, full-time entrepreneur for 2 years. I spent 15 years in corporate marketing and merchandising and product development in technology. Actually, I worked for a cell phone company for 13 years and then 2 years in another segment, and kind of got shoved into entrepreneurial life when I got laid off. And it was kind of one of those, we had dabbled at the Pantry, and that was kind of just a fun experiment for us. But then, and was sort of taking on a life of its own. But it was kind of one of those things of, I got pushed into it. And then it was like, okay, if I'm going to do this entrepreneur thing, we're going to do this thing. Right. And then truthfully, kind of like what Cristi was saying, with Flour and Water, life of its own. Had no idea what it was going to be or bring to us. Paige and Jacoby and I are just absolutely blown away by the support and the success that we're seeing. And for Paige and I, who have lived, well, and even Jacoby too, we've all lived here most of our lives. We moved here in the 80s and have spent our whole life, here, and want to be a part of this community because we do so much here. So to be able to have the avenues of the Pantry or Flour and Water to progress other local businesses and brands is really, really important to us, especially coming out of this pandemic, when you learn how absolutely resilient small local brands are in this time. And we have actually made that shift at the Pantry. That's one of our big goals for 2021 is we are now almost 50% local brands of what we offer. Because there's a lot of great artisans and brands around here that do really great things. So we're
they just
excited.
need the opportunity to be able to test the market to see whether they have the ability to take the leap that you took.
Absolutely. So I think we offer somewhere between, I think it's like 7 to 8 local brands in the Pantry, and are happy to then team up at Flour and Water with, we use local produce from Adams Apples and Herbs here in Woodstock, and are trying to team with several other local farms and stuff to use produce there, and then also go to other small businesses to sell our products. So during the pandemic, we supplied bread to both Adams Apples and Herbs and John Henry General Store in Newmarket. So kind of those, when necessity is the mother of invention, they needed bread, we could make bread, and there you go.
It was a win-win.
It was.
So I know, because I follow you on Facebook, bread isn't the only thing that you do at Flour and Water. Can you give me a quick overview of your menu and then tell me what your hours are?
Absolutely. So we'll start with hours. Hours are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We are open 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then we are open 8 to 3 on Saturday. So we're a 4-day-a-week shop right now while we try to figure out the explosion that we're seeing. So we are a full scale bakery. And when I say full scale, that means we specialize in bread, pastry, and sweets. So Jacoby Dingus, one of our partners, culinary trained, young guy from here. He's 25 years old. He's an amazing talent. He makes amazing bread. Anybody who's come in knows he makes amazing bread. So we have a variety of, sourdough, baguette. He does different flavors. We offer white and wheat bread every day, but we also do pastry. And I think that's where we're really making a name for ourselves right now. But he does croissants, pain of chocolat, flavored danishes, scones, cookies that are as big as a dinner plate, which is a little overwhelming sometimes for people.
No. That is never overwhelming, ever.
Right, they're never overwhelming.
Cookies as big as your head are the best cookies ever.
And then my sister Paige, she's the other half of the culinary duo. She does cakes, pies, sweet treats. She's pretty well known for her cakes around here. So they're kind of, I call them the dynamic duo, because they're a good balance of savory and sweet. So we do all of that. And then last week, we just started our lunchtime menu. So we now offer 4 or 5 different sandwiches, soup and salad, quiche, which anybody who's tried Jacoby's quiche knows it's one of a kind. And so we just started that last week, and we offer that from 11 to 2 every day that we're open.
So tell me one more time your address and where can people find you, website, social media?
So our address is 124 South Main Street in Woodstock. Again, we're the big teal building. You can't miss us. So you can find, we have a website, flourandwaterco.com. And then, but the best place to follow us is on social. And our handle on Instagram is Flour Water Co. And it's the same on Facebook as well.
Fantastic. And Cristi, before we wrap up, can you tell me again your address, your hours, and where people can find more information about you?
Absolutely. We are located at 9431 South Congress Street in Newmarket. And we love social media. We do Facebook Lives on Friday evening and Monday evening at 5 o'clock. And our Instagram handle is the Buttercup 2020. And on Facebook, it is the Buttercup.
And Carrie Hahn, I'm not letting you off the hook either. Where can people get your fabulous pottery? Because I know they can get it from you and you have all your social media stuff, but do you know off the top of your head where they can pick it up in a store somewhere in Woodstock?
Yes. In Woodstock, you can go to Flour and Water and you can see I've got some very special specific to Flour and Water cups, but they do sell them there as well. And also in Woodstock at the 7 East Gallery. Now they are currently closed and they're redoing their floors, but that's going to be picking up back again here in the spring. Outside of there is a lovely gallery in Winchester called Handworks Gallery, right on the Walking Mall, that has a lot of my work as well. So those are the places you can go that are in this region. And then also on my social media and my website. carriehahn.com is my website. And then my social media handles, both for Facebook and Instagram, are Carrie Hahn Studio.
You are one of the few people on Instagram that I have set to get a notification every time you make a post.
Yay.
And you do such a fantastic job because you do a lot of stuff that shows people, behind the curtain. It's not just look at these pretty things that I've made. It's look at what I had to go through to get to where this pretty thing is.
Yeah, there's a lot of process, and that's what I love about my work is the process. And obviously the product is a good part of it, but I do love the process that I do. And every ceramic artist has a different process, and that's what I love about following other artists on Instagram, because my whole Instagram feed is filled with artists and their process.
And I understand you were going to send me the list that Brenda has compiled of those women-owned tourism-ish businesses that I can put on the show notes page, so people will be able to go there and see that list as well.
Yes, I'll send that to you.
Fantastic. Well, we are going to wrap up our conversation for Tourism Tuesday Shenandoah County edition. We have pre-recorded on the Zoom screen with Carrie Hahn from Shenandoah County Tourism and Carrie Hahn Pottery. She would never say it, so I get to say it for her. Joining us on the Zoom screen has been Cristi Coryell. She is the owner at the Buttercup Boutique on Congress Street in Newmarket, as well as Meredith Norris. And I don't even want to go through the list. Flour and Water Company on Main Street in Woodstock, the Pantry at 117, and Women Entrepreneur Extraordinaire, all three. So thank you, ladies, for meeting me on the screen today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Janet.
I will be back tomorrow. And who knew when I recorded this last week that we are continuing this women-owned business theme. Tomorrow is the Valley Business Today Front Royal Warren County edition. So Nikki Kales and I are going to be chatting with Stephanie Meyer. She recently opened Rewed Bridal on Main Street in Front Royal. So we're going to get all of the details about her new business tomorrow. Meet me back here to have a listen just a few minutes after noon.